All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're got a swarm yesterday, and I wasn't really anticipating it. And it was just an empty box that I had here in the shed, and they moved in. So when a queen flies with a swarm, she's generally a lot smaller than when she's laying, and I'm afraid that she may be able to get up here into the honey supers. And so I want to make sure that she's down here, and I'm going to put a top feeder on there, kind of give them a boost just to help them build some comb. Other than that, I'm pretty much going to leave this hive wild. But yeah, so I figured I'd film it, and let's take a gander at what bees we got here. Typically, I don't wear all this protective gear. I run Italians most of the time, but due to the fact this is a swarm, I'm not sure what type of bees they are in this area, Kitsap Peninsula in Washington. A lot of folks like to run them Russians, and they seem to be just a little bit more aggressive and hive protective. So we're gonna make sure that all of this is gonna work out, and I don't want to end up hurting myself, so ain't no sense in getting stung. So there's only one bee running around on the top of that guy, so we'll put him outside. I've got a feeling we're gonna have quite a few more in this guy. Yeah, a few. I'd probably say a couple hundred. That's about it. Looks like they are repairing comb. Or they're just, no, looks like they're just cleaning out the hive. So we're going to put this outside and let them return. Sorry about that delay. I had a few hornets buzzing around out there. So I'm going to reduce the entrance. I have 3 1.5 inch holes drilled in the front of this hive for their entrances going outside of the shed. And these guys are nice and calm. I'm liking it. A lot of really light yellow bodies, so we're most looking at the majority of the swarm is probably Italians. A couple of darker guys, they could be carnelians. So this top portion of the hive is just plumb full of bees. I don't know if you can see it from there. I think I'm going to crack it just to see what size of a swarm we're dealing with. We'll take a look at that lower box. Now, the majority of this hive is pretty well drawn out with comb. And we've got a pretty good pack down there too. I'd probably say this is a good 7-pound swarm. But let's go ahead and put this guy nice and gently. I do have my smoke ready. But I typically don't like to smoke them. Just kind of a personal preference, really, not really anything that I've found different or any reasoning or logic behind it. Just personal preference. We're going to go ahead and bump these guys with the finger, get them running out of the way so we don't crush them. I'm going to put that back in. I'm going to take my queen excluder, bring it in and just kind of slowly rake it across. We know there's a queen in there, so there's not really any sense and trying to find her. I would like to know if it was somebody's package. It is May 10th, Mother's Day today. And so a lot of people just got their packages here in Washington. But, you know, I hope somebody didn't lose their package of bees. And I just caught some random swarm. But at the same token, I don't want to push them out of this hive, so I don't want to go rooting around in there and them deem this hive as unfit. So I'm only going to fill one side of this for today. I'm going to take a little bit and kind of drip it down on top. It'll force them to kind of figure out where this honey's at, or sugar water, sorry. And this is, I think, 3 pounds of water with 3 pounds of sugar. And we'll come back out and check this hive tomorrow to see how fast they're going through that. I'm gonna feed them for probably the first month, and then we're gonna stop the feeding process. I am going to put a top bar on there, just a little spacer, not that it needs it, but I like a little bit of airflow in there. I'm going to put a moisture board in. I find this somewhat helps if it gets too hot in this shed. And other than that, we're done. Super stoked. So a fairly decent size swarm. All right, folks. Have a wonderful day.